Here we go with Seven Shawls of a Yellow Silk. What's the name of the movie? The Crimes of the Black Cat. Here we go.
Is it just me? Or is it getting crazier out there?
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Late Late Horror Show. I am Dino, and that is Ginger, as always. What's going on, Ginger?
Hi, everybody.
Hi. Yes, we got another Giallo. Oh, we're packing them in with the Crimes of the Black Cat. Listen, one of the most under talked about, less known, talked about movies in the Giallo genre. I mean, not too many people talk about this. You can't even find too much information on it, but it's certainly a movie mishmash of a lot of other Giallo films in it. So a lot of inspiration for 1972. But yeah, hey, hello everyone. We will get to the Crimes of the Black Cat, 1972, directed by Sergio Pastore, in a minute. But let me say hi to Rich Cat Ranch. Tolkar sent me a thank you again for that. It came in the mail. I got something from Amazon. It's like a little laughing goat type thing, and I'm like, going, where did this come from? And I'm like, what the heck? Thank you, Tolkar. Appreciate it. Connie Clary, John McGee, Gregory. What's going on, Gregory? Edward Stewart. Hopefully you had a good birthday.
That was a fantastic trivia night we had last night.
So fun. And listen, Paranormal Show has been canceled tomorrow or rescheduled for January 16th. So tomorrow night, when I get up, I'm going to make a thumbnail and we're going to do the Giallo fun game that we were playing yesterday. So tomorrow night, we are going to do that. That is going to be fun. That's going to be followed up with more Monday nights, I think, because I'm pushing no more paranormals on Mondays. I'm going to leave Mondays for fun and frolicking. And we're going to come up with other horror titles and various kind of fun stuff we're going to do. But anyways, Gregory, does it sound good, Ginger?
Yes.
Yeah, I figured. So. Yeah. John McKee, I said hello to Black Roses. I think that's it. Like I said, this is so under talked about. Alicia Cruz, Mike Barrett's here, so it's good. I'm glad to see you here, so you can kind of chime in on your thoughts because
when we need a consultation.
Yeah, when we need it. Nice to see this underrated Giallo getting a review. Listen, exactly my point, Mike Barrett, and hello, Jackass Whiskey and Pinto Beans. Hey, I caught the live stream. Yes, you did. Good to see you. But Mike Barrett and Ginger, this, very, very underrated, very not talked about. And boy, pulling inspiration from The Bird with the Crystal Plumage. You know, you've got a lot of aspects in there of that.
And also, come on,
Blood and Black Lace.
Cat o' Nine Tails.
It's the same plot. Same plot as Cat o' Nine Tails. 100%. You got the blind pianist.
He said pianist.
Pianist. And played in Dario Argento's version later on. Well, by Carl Malden, who played it spectacularly. Listen, that movie, Cat o' Nine Tails, was superior to this one, although this one
in a different way it was, but this has some very good qualities. I'm shocked beyond comparison. You're going to enjoy this maybe a little bit. This is an early one, Dino. An early finger. There we go. Moonlit Effect. What's going on? I'm currently watching a Giallo. You're currently watching a Giallo? Did you pause it while we're doing this discussion? Tormentor 1973. Okay. Let's see you later, jackass.
Anyways, but yes, Cat o' Nine Tails by Dario. Very similar qualities, and Blood and Black Lace.
There's another one too.
The Great Bava, the fashion warehouse. The lots of different distinctions. Like
there's actually a movie. There's actually a movie within a movie.
Yeah, there's also
too.
Yes, there's also a movie within a movie, which is portrayed in a couple giallos we have done in the past. And listen, this movie has incorporated and pulled, and it's 1972, from a lot of early giallo stuff. So even though
this movie had everything, it had
even though the film within a film is in later giallo films, so they pulled maybe from this or
okay.
I can't remember if any earlier, but yeah, lots of very cool things. Horror Junkie for Life, what is going on? Super chat, $10 super chat.
Best. She's just the absolute best. Thank you, sweetie.
Hello.
She took a cruise. She just got back from a cruise.
She did, a giallo cruise.
And she said her only complaint was that it was too much fun. It was more fun than she had intended on. And,
yeah, love the Christmas tree, Ginger. Very bright, slips on shades.
It is very bright.
Only 6 more days until Christmas. Anyone want to send Pepe a ton of coal for Santa? Thank you, Horror Junkie for Life. Appreciate it very, very much. Much love to you. No, I can multitask. I am watching your stream in that movie at the same time.
Oh gosh, that's a relief. I'm relieved. How about you, Dino?
How the hell can you do that?
Did you notice I had matching earrings?
Yes, that's nice. Let's get to the giallo film. Come on.
So you wonder why you're single. That was the wrong response. You wonder why.
Gee. They're very beautiful. They almost look like Rubik's Cube.
It's too late now.
Colorful DNA Rubik's Cube stuff. So this has got, again, a lot of...
I can say the name in Italian.
You can, go ahead.
Okay.
Do it.
Sette scialli di sette gialla.
Good for you.
7 shawls of yellow silk.
Yes, there you go.
Shut up.
The original working
title. That was good. Shut up.
Oh, and how do you like the white cloak in here? It's not red, but it's white.
I am going to refer to her as Little White Riding Hood with the basket.
Yes, please do that.
I'm like, what are you doing? Why?
The Gypsy Little White Riding Hood. I like it. And you know what? There's some interesting things in this movie. There's some interesting red herrings. You are kind of...
I was completely convinced that this person was the killer, and they weren't.
Yeah. They shocked me.
I love the setting. Okay, I knew it had to be. I thought it was maybe the Netherlands. Yeah, but it was Denmark.
It was Denmark, yeah.
Because there were the canals, so I thought it was the Netherlands. But it was lovely.
Oh, yeah. No, the cinematography was great. The shot locations. Everything.
There's a device they use in this movie. Real quick, I'm sorry. I know I keep interrupting. One more question, because you're a film student. There's this camera device that they use. There's a method that they use, and it's
double close up.
No, well, double close up or repeat frame. Repeat frame, because it's just the same frame over and over and over. So you know what I'm talking about.
You can just call it a repeat.
But
frame.
I wanted to ask you because I was like, I wonder if that's what that's really called. And I said, I'm going to ask Dino because I know he'd know if it's called repeat frame.
Yeah, I don't remember any reference to what that would exactly
I like
be
it.
called.
It's cheesy. I like it.
Yeah, no, listen, they've done a lot of it.
But I like it.
Yes, they've done a lot of very cool things. Even the double close-up, like where it's like zoom, 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 like you're like, whoa, just to make a point. A J.O.B. What's going on? Again, the tree's a big hit. That's for sure. But yeah, no, there's a lot of very cool things in here. Jackass Whiskey and Pinto Beans, $5 super chat.
Oh boy, he's buying a chance to ask you a question, Dino.
Okay, well, $5 super chat. Do you want to know the trope? Something put in movies that let you know the genre. In 85% of giallos, Do I want to know the trope? I know. What do you? I'm not even sure what you're talking about, Jackass. Of course, I know most of the tropes of the Giallo films, so there's no need to tell me. Go ahead, put it up. Yeah, let us know.
And we'll be astounded.
Yes, I will. Listen, we've done. How many films have we done now? Giallo films, 30?
Something like that.
We've done a hell of a lot of Giallo films. I've seen
intentionally on purpose.
Yes, and I've seen, because we want to study. I want to study, and I'm bringing you along with
and
these.
I'm glad to be sitting in your sidecar, Dino.
Thank you, and yes, I know every single Giallo trope there is in a film. If something has passed me on by, I'd be shocked.
So instead of reviewing this film, let's go ahead and find out what this trope is that we need to know.
J&B Scotch, it's the green bottle, yellow label. Okay, now I have no idea what you're talking about.
That there's always a bottle of J&B Scotch in every movie. Somebody pours from a bottle and it's always J&B Scotch. I'm astounded. I'm astounded. What?
Is that a trope though? I mean, I guess if it's in 85% of the movies, is it just because it's a popular beverage in Italian during that era? And that's like, I could say 85% of the films in the 40s and 50s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s incorporate, hey, you want a scotch? You know what I mean?
And soda, they had that spray bottle of soda.
Yeah. But listen, thank you, Jackass Whiskey. That's I did not notice that. It was something that I just didn't notice. So that's interesting. So thank you very much. And thank you for the $5 super chat. Really appreciate it. Yes, it always J&B Scotch. Look for it. I will do from now on. That's probably I won't stop looking for it now. So thank you.
Now but anyways, every time there's a bar, and there's always a bar.
There's always a bar.
There's a bar in this movie.
So let's get to these people real quick, and then we can start to talk with the movie because, again, I really
there's some familiar faces in this movie.
There are, and starting with one of the most prolific. What am I trying to say? Prolific. Oh my God. The day started this way and it's going to end this way. So Burton, the butler, played by Umberto Rajo, he's like one of those guys like in America where IMDb is like 200 films. The dude did a lot of stuff and he was in a lot of Italian films during that era. So very prolific.
He's a great actor. He was very good.
And he's the butler. Butler.
I called him the valet. He's a valet.
Valet.
His man.
Not so much a butler, but a valet to the blind pianist played by Peter Oliver. Anthony Stefan is the actor's name. A lot of people, I guess, I come to find out, think he's a stiff actor and portrays a lot of characters and that's so well. But I really thought he did a pretty darn good job in this film.
His acting is a little bit corny.
He's blind.
I know.
By the light.
And blind. What else is he? Which put me in mind of my favorite movie of all time, Blowout. He worked with sound and
he was a sound guy.
Composing songs for movies.
Yes, he's a sound guy for movies.
I like to call him the maestro. That's what I'm going to call him for the whole review. The maestro.
Yes. He is. And at the beginning of the film, they're kind of sitting at this movie projector while he's working on the music, which is
and they're showing another Giallo movie.
Yeah, which is a big, gigantic tape deck, which the image you get on that projector is foreshadowing for the end of the movie, which we won't talk about, Ginger, until a little bit,
Because
what's the name of the movie that they were doing the sound for? I wrote it down and I can't find it.
Oh yes, it was another
lizard woman in lizard skin, or a lizard in a woman's skin.
Yes, the woman. Yes. That's exactly it. That's what they were doing, and he was making the soundtrack for that.
So I'm assuming that movie was made by the same director.
Or say all these people were interconnected: the sound people, the writers, the directors, the people underneath, assistants. They were all interconnected. That's why Lamberto Bava worked so much with Dario Argento and others, and didn't get as much credit as he should have for a lot of his films. It's only recently that we've done a couple films by him that I'm like going, okay, so he's doing okay here. I like what he's doing. There's
and then
more to
his
come.
son, didn't his son become a director too? Was it?
No, well, he is the son of Mario Bava.
Oh, okay.
The man.
Yes.
So yes, anyways, it's always odd to me that JMB is in the movie to denote sophistication, but nowadays Scotch blends are out of style. It's all the single malts, Jamie. Okay. Okay. So we got Peter Oliver, the blind pianist, who's kind of the main character. His butler Burton, played by Umberto Rajo.
And they're very close.
And a
very,
bit of a
very close.
They're very close. Very close. Burton loves him very much.
He'd do anything for him.
He would. And we got who do we got? We have Francoise,
because it's a woman,
Francoise Balaz or whatever, the owner of the fashion, because this takes place at a fashion house. In Copenhagen. But it's a fashion house.
And also out in the countryside.
Again. Out in the country outside?
Of outside of Copenhagen, the town where the bar was and where the maestro lived was not Copenhagen. It was another town outside of there.
Interesting. That's very
interesting. It's the name of the restaurant. The name of the restaurant that he goes to, I forget. It's like Miliaya or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
I know, but I get stuck on stuff like that. So I'm sorry. Yeah. Proceed.
It's all right. So she's the owner, and she's all I'll say is she's in and out of this movie at various points. Not very. She
goes to Hamburg a lot.
Yes, not very, not on screen a whole lot. Again,
she's the only person I've ever seen take a shower. Was she the one who took a shower and didn't even have the shower curtain closed? Just the shower curtain was just wide. I was like, I've never seen that before.
There was a couple. Margot did too.
Maybe it was Margot. Okay.
And then we got her husband, Victor Morgan. Not sure why they both have different last names, but.
The inspector at one point said, she's not really your wife. Did you get that at the end? The inspector was like, well, she's not even really your wife.
Yes, he said that.
Pretending to be married.
Yes.
Okay.
I think she was keeping him around for show because all the women loved him. But Mike Barrett, also a trope of Giallo's fashion house. Yes, that's clearly stated as a trope. Over and over and over again. Shower curtains are overrated, says J.O.B.
Yeah, but think of the water all over the floor. I was like, they're going to ruin that floor.
But yeah, there's a couple shower scenes, and one in particular at the end we'll get to. And oh my God, one of the all I'll say is one of the greatest
and most
brutal, horrific. That I've ever seen in any of the Giallos that we've done.
From beginning to end, just from the first strike to the last, it was like, oh.
Yes, but that's it. We'll touch on it again when we get to
it. It was hard to watch.
It was hard to watch.
It was very, very realistic.
Yes, I actually turned away.
You did not.
Yes, I did. No, I've averted my eyes because I'm like going, listen. Okay, we'll get to that. But
the movie cheating. That's cheating. If you don't keep your eyes open and watch the whole thing, you're cheating.
The movie's okay. So we got Victor, the pretend husband to Francoise, and then we have Inspector Jansen, who's the
this dude's all man. He's
the
got
hard-boiled detective. All these Giallo movies have to
Yeah.
have a hard-boiled detective. He's not
You notice
impressed
his
by
eyes though?
He had those crystal blue eyes.
Yeah, and they were very thin, and I'm like going, what kind of eyes do you got? But them eyes. Jules PDX, what's going on? LOL. Anyways, I haven't seen this flick, but Stewart in it. Yes, it's got. Yes, we've talked about. So we've also got Margot Thornhill in here, who is the woman who befriends the blind Peter
after his woman
kind of gets it, and we'll talk about that. And I don't even
she
think
was there to comfort him in any way necessary.
And she's not even credited, is she? Maybe she is. Is she
know.
Paolo? Paolo, I think is her name. She's the first to get killed, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then
Margot comes in to help him cope.
Yes. And that kind of rounds out kind of the characters there. And we'll get into the other ones. There's a photographer who gets it in other various. Hey, it's Dave Plouffe. What's going on, Dave Plouffe?
Hey,
good
Dave.
to see you. Yeah.
And did you catch at the end at some point at the end of the movie?
Don't give nothing away. Yeah, no. Let's not go straight to the end, even though we want to, because this is a slow.
Yes.
Peter the pianist. Yeah. It makes sense now.
It's slow, but the end of it makes up for it.
The first act is a slow-paced kind of character development and scene development and all of that stuff involving, Peter the butler, the gypsy little White Riding Hood woman who we end up.
She used to work in the circus.
Yeah, she used to work in a circus, but now she's drug addicted and wants to she wants to. Oh God, I threw off, you guys. I was looking at a message on my text. Sorry. Now okay, so the little White Riding Hood was kind of
That's what I called her. A little White Riding Hood. She had the basket and everything.
Yes, listen, it comes very quickly, very fast. She's involved. She's drug addicted. She's being blackmailed.
She
smells. She smells. Yes, it's pointed out a few times that she smells, but it's her. And then there's also this black cat, which the crimes of the black cat.
That poor cat.
But it's her at the start. Listen, this jumps all over the place. It's her at the start, white, cloak, drug addicted, being blackmailed by this gloved black Giallo killer, who also uses.
If she does this thing that he wants her to do, he'll give her drugs.
Also uses her cat to do some killing, and we'll get into that after we talk about.
Very creative.
Yes, very creative. I guess we'll talk about it. Why not just kill yourself? Kill the victim yourself.
Because he's like a Bond villain. He can't get his hands dirty. He just trusts that it's going to happen, and he leaves.
Yeah. It's interesting, and boy, does that take quite the twist at the end too. But Peter goes to this restaurant.
The whole movie opens on this beautiful scene.
Yeah, go ahead.
A European country. It's Europe right away. A train going through this European country. It looks like a pretty major city. There's a lot of factories and stuff around, so it's a major city. But I'm like, where is this? I'm thinking it's in Italy somewhere. And I was like, maybe it's Spain. But it pans around and it opens the same way that other movie opened, with a gorgeous blonde-haired woman walking down a busy city street and going to a phone booth. What was that movie?
Bloody Iris. Was it Bloody Iris?
I don't remember, but there was another one exactly. I was like, this is exactly.
This is the trouble. This is the trouble with doing so many back to back. Because Giallo films are so structured and how they present themselves
that you get them mixed up.
That you get them mixed up. So, boy,
but there is one like that, and I was like, I know Dino's gonna know. And this is just like another movie.
It's one we've done recently. I know that much. But Peter Wernicke, what's going on?
But I think it had a lot to do with what she was wearing, because it's like these were real street scenes. So it was like there were actual pedestrians on the street while they're filming, and people were looking at her. Women were looking at her like, why is she wearing that? And men were turning around and looking at her.
Yeah, she was gorgeous. Yes, it's Bloody Iris's Jackass Whiskey. Okay, perfect. Yep.
She had this gorgeous full-length fur coat on that had tails on the bottom of it and everything. This thing was
James, surf's up. And I love the fashion. Listen.
A short dress and those gorgeous big black platform heels, black stockings. She looked like she was, the morning after. So people were actually stopping and looking at her.
Well, when she dropped her clothes, though, and after, anyways, I'm not talking. Listen, it was the opening scene. Yes, getting the shots of the streets and the location and the city. And then she slowly gets to the.
She walks across a bridge restaurant. And there's a canal, and I was like, okay, this is the Netherlands. Anyway. It reminded me of that Nosferatu movie when the ship came in the canal.
Yes, it does. it most certainly does, Ginger. It reminds me of the Nosferatu film.
I hated that movie.
The canal. Oh, don't say that! Blasphemy! Blasphemy! Burn, witch, burn. Okay, let's bring it back. Listen, so no, listen, you can't say nothing bad about Nosferatu.
I'm very sorry.
No, you can. I'm just joking with you.
But I hate that movie. I'm sorry.
There's this thing called freedom. Yeah. Yes, she makes her way.
She goes into a restaurant.
Yes, she does. She goes to the guy at the front and gives him a letter or something. But anyways, we don't need every detail. We just need to talk about Peter comes in, sits at the table, and him being blind, which we find out a little bit later that how blind is he?
How blind is he really? Because he seems to know some things that someone with no sight really wouldn't be able to know.
Well, he says he must have some sight because he notices the woman and he says in a white cloak. So as she walks
he had only said the smell because the sense of smell would be stronger. If he had only said that she smelled fetid, but he mentioned the white cloak, and I'm like, how does he know it's white?
What?
How does he know the cloak is white?
Because he's seen it, evidently. So yes. So he's in the restaurant. He's sitting at a booth. Sitting at a booth, and he didn't even order, but he hears these people behind him arguing, and that's where
they're trying to be quiet.
Well, listen, I heard everything they were saying.
Because there was a microphone right there, but they were whisper shouting.
And it's a small, nice little cozy Italian restaurant.
Very nice little restaurant. I'd love to have a beer in that place.
Chicken masala, whatever. Pickled pierogies. No? Oh, that's not an Italian.
Well, they're in Denmark, so it would probably been like lox and bagels or something.
It was supposed to be set in Italy, though, right?
No.
Was it Copenhagen?
There was you saw a lot of buses and signs and stuff that were written in Dutch. So
okay. So he hears that, and he kind of out of this conversation. Listen, Peter, for being blind, he's a Sherlock Holmes. That's all I can say. The guy picks up on everything, figures out everything, and you can go the senses. This is gone, that's gone, but the sight isn't gone. But man, I pick up on it. Yeah, well, or is it? Yeah, I don't know. But he says, and I think she was drug addicted. By the sound of the argument, I think she was.
And he also said by the way she walked that she walked like she was unsteady on her feet, like she was high or something. I was like, did she?
I know. So we saw that too. I mean, you guys, I was 11 years old when this came out. How old are you all? Alicia Cruz. Listen, Alicia, I've reviewed, and some of my greatest movies ever are the Universal horror films, and I most certainly was not alive until decades after. So I'm not sure.
Still can love them.
I don't know if you're just trying to get ages out of us or what. Love you, Alicia. Anyways, yeah. So he kind of deduced that, and with that, what happens from there? I think they go back to this fashion house where we're introduced to all the
come on, you don't want to talk about the broad that comes in and plays the jukebox and starts dancing really badly so he can't hear the rest of the conversation.
Well, you can bring that up real quick. Yeah, you did just now, because there's two different soundtracks to this movie.
Oh.
Well, I mean, kind of. There's the Giallo kind of mysterious, sound.
And then there's also like popular music.
Yeah, like popular funky music.
Yes.
That kind of, not disco, but that kind of funky.
Makes you dance like Rerun.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. And I was just like, wow. And there were even some scenes where murders would take place where that kind of funky music would start, like when she was running away from the killer, the Margot maybe, or somebody, I forget. And that
when she was in the completely empty train station.
Oh, what Subway takes place in this too.
And there's nobody. There's nobody. You're in Copenhagen, Denmark, and there's nobody in the train station. Nobody.
Just Dino's soul was alive back in the day. Yeah. Hey, what's that mean? You making fun of my paranormal shows, Dave?
No, he's saying you have an old soul. You know that.
Yeah, my soul most certainly was alive back in that day. And yes, me and Dave Plouffe will be doing the After the Day of Christmas Clue commentary, which I can't wait to do that. That's going to be fun with Dave. We're going to have such slappy fun. We're going to slapping each other and have drinking whiskey and wine. So go on, Ginger. You got notes. I'm going to play off you for a bit. Go on. Where are we at? Yeah. Oh, this is
Paola, the letter that she left was a Dear John letter, basically. She was like, I can't see you anymore.
Yeah.
And so he needed his valet, to read the letter to him. And she was like,
to Peter, yes.
Yes.
Was Peter's lover.
The maestro.
Yes. So somehow Peter was getting all these models at the fashion house. So,
because he was a very handsome man. And he knew how to play the piano.
Exactly, if you'd say so. Yeah. You always say these 70s men with their weird hair and stuff are handsome. So I go with it.
So this I'm sorry. The word I used was homely. This homely woman in a white cape.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, slapping each other with the candlestick in the conservatory. That would be fun. Too bad you're not here live, Dave. But anyways, I need Dave like right here for us to do kind of that would be awesome.
Like an Abbott and Costello thing.
Oh my God. So
so there's the woman in the white cape. The first time we see her, she goes into the fashion house.
She
does. They show you very clearly what door she's going into, so you better remember later that's the door she went into. And there's mannequins, and her vision is like she's on acid or something, and there's mannequins. Dino, I think that's what's called a trope. Is that a trope?
Mannequins.
Are we troping right now?
Mannequins, what?
Are we troping?
We are a little bit. Listen, yeah, mannequins are kind of a thing because fashion houses are a thing.
Well, even when there's no fashion house involved, a lot of times you'll see a mannequin because women sewed their own clothing and they needed those dressmakers thingies.
Dino should take a page from those great philosophers who wrote Paranoia Will Destroy You because your rhymes with paranoia. What does that mean? Ginger, do you know what that means?
No.
Help me out.
we see this handsome man, Victor Morgan. Then it starts kind of dragging right now. And then you see the beautiful girl from the opening scene goes to the same dressing room that you saw the woman with the cape go into. And you're like, that's the same dressing room because they made it very clear that this was the dressing room. There's a note on her vanity. We never know what the note said. There was a note on her vanity and she just burned it with a lighter. Because there's always a note. Didn't I just say that the other night? In these Giallo movies, there's always a note. Yeah. She burns the note.
And the note is there's a lot of this movie also has a lot of blackmailing going on. So
yes, another Giallo trope.
Yes. So yes, blackmailing going on.
So there's something in a basket, and she opens up the basket, and this cat comes leaping out on her, and she's dead.
Oh, say it again. I'm sorry.
The cat comes leaping out of the basket, and she's immediately dead. And a bunch of people come running.
Yes.
And the hairstylist, who's like this flamboyantly gay guy, because there always has to be one of those in a Giallo movie, he's peeking, and he looks very suspicious. Red herring. You're like, did he do this?
Yes, exactly.
The wicker basket disappeared. Somebody came and got the wicker basket.
What's in the basket? Basket case. So yeah, this basket case trope with the cat in it that you very quickly it's like a very apparent from the start where the cat is killing the victims with
that naughty cat.
And we will come to find out. Well, I guess we can wait. Go ahead, continue.
His valet Margot wants to comfort the maestro in any way she can, whatever he needs. And then there we see Harry. Harry is in the dark room.
Yes, Harry is in the dark room, taking
with a candlestick.
Taking photographs.
See, I tried to not take really detailed note this time because you always tell me I take too detailed notes.
No.
So I tried not to this time, and I'm lost.
No, you're good.
Lost, I tell you.
I'm all over the place in my head right now because I'm reading something and I'm taking it the wrong way, and then I got something else going on here, and I'm trying to listen to you, and it's a little. My mind's getting.
Oh, Peter mentioned this. Peter's thing right here is very important. Thank you, Peter. We see the lady in the white cape, and she's wearing this big, ugly necklace that has this huge eyeball on it.
Yes.
And I thought, how ironic is that? Because the maestro is blind, and then she's got this big necklace on, and they very much want to make sure you see this big, ugly eyeball that she has around the neck. It's like brass. And it's got a big white eyeball in the middle of it. I'm like, that's really ugly, but that's her thing. And that's what Peter said. Thank you, Peter.
Okay. Alicia Cruz, you guys are a little bit too old for me. I like your chats, but I don't know your movies. Wish I did. LOL. That's kind of, Alicia, you've been around a little bit here. You're kind of newer, but kind of not a good thing to say. That's kind of disrespectful. I'm not sure why you would say that.
Everybody disrespects old Auntie Ginger.
We're not all old. There's a lot of people who, listen, see, here I go. There's a lot of people who are in there. Listen, my daughter's 18 years old, and she loves all of these films, okay? She loves Universal horror films, black and white horror films. So, I mean, listen, I take a little offense to it. That's all I'll say. But anyways, let's go on. Multitask, multitask. Hey, I'm trying Jackass whiskey and pinto beans, but
so somebody in a trench coat and a hat comes and stabs poor Harry in the neck and then drags him away. I don't know why he drags him away. I don't think we ever find out what happened to poor old Harry.
Okay, I'm turning myself away from the chat for right now, and I'm going to continue and get on this and talk about this movie. I apologize to everybody who's here to listen to us discuss the movie, and I'm just all over the place. I'm sorry. So back on track.
That's called Dino.
Yeah. So where we exactly? You wouldn't get a stream. That's just me. But go ahead. Where are we at?
The inspector finds these negatives, and it looks like a couple in flagrante delicto, caught in the act. I looked that up. That's my little thing.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So somebody, he's making out with somebody. Somebody's making out with somebody, and somebody came and took a picture. And the inspector finds the negative, and he says the negatives are Paola.
Oh, wait, we can say who.
Yeah, because they tell you.
Yeah. What's
the maestro's girlfriend, Paola, who told him she couldn't see him anymore. It's her with another man.
Yes, and the other man is who? Victor
Morgan.
Victor Morgan, who is the fake husband to Francois,
the owner of the fashion house.
Owner is sleeping with all these women, and I think the photographer wanted to either blackmail him. What? It wants to either blackmail him with photographs.
Yes.
And so that's kind of what's going on, and that's why she ends up getting it, right? Yeah,
So there's a flashback to the night before.
Yeah.
There's a flashback to the night before Paola was murdered. Victor and her were in the bed having
graphic
sex. Very graphic.
Was it?
Yes, I thought it was very graphic.
Not as much as we've seen lately.
There was a lot of graphic sex and excessive, gratuitous nudity. Some full-on nudity.
In this movie?
Yes.
Well, I've so totally missed that. I guess after Edwig Fenech, this last movie we did was grinding away.
I'm going to text you a word right now that I thought you would mention about this movie, and you haven't mentioned it. And if you don't want to, it's fine. But there's a word that I thought you would have mentioned for this movie, and you have not mentioned it yet. And I'm going to send it to you right now.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
You don't remember the full-on nudity in this movie? There's 18 shower scenes because it's a Giallo movie.
Well, yeah, but they're so abrupt and so sudden, except for that third act with the kill. And that's the one that really gets to you. Hey, CM, what's going on? And Legend, Black Cat, really fun fact, there's a Black Cat in Marvel Comics. Sometimes she's good, sometimes she's bad. What the flip? Ginger, what's going on?
I don't know. You had a feeling it was going to be a strange night tonight.
It's nudity is always, well, Jackass has got so many info bits for us. It's yeah. Dino and Ginger Santa Pup is always almost 11 years old. Okay, yeah. Oh my God, I'm going crazy.
I'm trying to figure out why we're talking about Santa's pup. But anyway,
my mind's getting ready to burst. So yeah, the blackmail.
So Paola knew about it. She knew about it. Because when the photographer came in, she smiled, so she knew, she set it up.
Yeah, she most certainly did. Because I guess she's going to try to blackmail him. But we come to find out that Victor Morgan, who is the fake husband to Francois, has been involved in fraud in the past, and he is a schemer and always after money. Although in this movie, there's really I think he's trying to dig for a way to get money, but there's really no focus on him getting money if somebody dies or passes away. Am I wrong?
I just have to say real quick.
Yeah.
She knew about the whole photographer coming to take these pictures of them in bed. She knew about that. She probably set it up. He slapped her, like he brutalized her. But when he was telling his wife, Francoise, about it later, he said, it was just a normal reaction.
Yeah, Dave, you might be too old for the Black Cat from 1930. Stairpike can watch it, but we can't.
Stairpike did watch it. He was a tyke back then.
Yes, he was. Yeah. I see what you're saying there on the nude scene, and I don't think Bush makes it very graphic. I don't think that makes it very graphic, showing full frontal. To some, I guess maybe it does, but it's the way the acts are performed in a lot of these giallos that make them more graphic or X-rated and down and dirty and stuff like that. But Yeah, it's that was a very quick scene with them in bed to where it was filmed. She turned around and they took a picture and it was done. So, anyways.
So then the inspector, this is when the inspector says Francois isn't his wife and that the husband, whatever, Victor, has a shady past. And the medical inspector says Paula died of a heart attack.
Yeah, that's quite odd. Yeah. Well, because they don't understand what's causing the death yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because later
and all
on,
they can say is that she had acute, whatever that they name it, but it's a heart attack.
I guess.
So the Cape lady. This is the first time it occurred to me. The Cape lady. They cut to the Cape woman. She wakes up and there's an empty syringe, like a dirty, nasty syringe next to her. And I was like, oh, she's a drug addict.
Yeah, yeah. Because she used to be this big beauty. It's the old Betty
in
Davis
the circus.
Yeah, it's the old Betty Davis thing where she used to be so beautiful and so talented, but then not saying that anything like this happened to Betty Davis, but it's kind of she's
that movie. Whatever happened to Baby Jane? What is it?
That's the movie. That's the movie. Yes. Why is it?
And also Sunset Boulevard.
Yes, yes. So she's portrayed characters in movies like this character,
and now she's old.
Which is why I call it a Betty Davis thing. Well,
now
and Betty
she's
Davis,
old and she's a drug addict because her husband died or something.
I don't know what happened. All I know is she was.
And who was her husband in real life?
Who?
Her husband in real life was, I think, the director.
Oh well, that's nice. I didn't know that. So you stumped me.
I'm gonna stump you, all right.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Into the curb.
Myocardial infarction.
No, that's yes, that is a name for it, Kathy. Yes, but that's not what they said. They said acute something. I forget what they said, but yeah, that is it. But they didn't say that.
Yeah, it was something with the heart. It goes into cardiac. I can tell that Kathy watched the movie. I think. Because
so the phone rings.
Peter says that later on, because when he figures it all out, you know. Jackass Whiskey says, I like Dino. He keeps the shelves neat and orderly. Ginger is always ducky. I'm not sure what that means. Are you ducky?
Ducky, like Ducky Dale.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Freud said sometimes black cat is only a black cat.
Right. So the phone rings and the woman answers and the person says, Susan. So we find out that the kind of older woman who's past her glory days, her name is Susan.
Glory days.
He says, I don't want to do it again. And you don't know if it's a man or a woman, but they whisper to her on the phone, I don't want to do it again, Susan.
Yeah, in this movie, they're doing that it is me, voice.
And at that point, for some reason, I wrote down it's the valet. The valet is the killer.
Wait, what?
At this point, I wrote down, I think it's the valet because he was acting very suspicious, listening around the corner to all the conversations and stuff. Yes, really.
I didn't even get the butler at this point even. So
well, I did.
Good on you. Yeah, good on you, Miss Sherlock.
So Susan walks past.
The game was afoot for you.
Somehow, this is when the valet drove the maestro someplace, and the valet ran in, and the maestro stayed outside, and this woman in a white cape walks by. He's leaning up against the car, and this woman in a white cape walks by, and he knows it's her, even though he's blind.
Yeah.
So he tells the valet.
By the light. Did you know that?
He tells the valet to follow her. So the valet follows her.
There's Santa's pup. Yeah, no, I heard somewhere in the film that he was blinded by the light, and that could be because of the car accident, but we will talk about that at the end of the movie. But go ahead.
So anyway, he misses her. She gets on a bus and goes away. So Margot drives the maestro, and they pick the valet up. And the maestro starts putting it together that whoever did this is a junkie, and someone's giving her drugs in exchange for something. He is very good at deductive reasoning.
And again, that's because of the restaurant at the beginning, and he tells the inspector this so that he, you know, looks like again, in all the Giallo films, the trope is there's a character who is not a private investigator or not anything of the such.
But they're conducting an investigation of their own.
They're conducting an investigation and trying to figure it out. So that's exactly what he's trying to do. And boy, he does a very good job at it.
So then we see a woman comes home. It's Helga. She walks into her apartment and you see black gloves and they turn off the power in her apartment. She sees a yellow shawl. There's this yellow shawl and she puts this yellow shawl on and she sees that there's this black cat. And she goes over to the black cat with this yellow shawl on and the black cat attacks her and she dies. Just like the first lady, Paola.
It's a shame. And should we say now or wait, why the yellow shawl?
No, we can't say it until we find out.
Okay, well, we'll wait until
So her roommate finds her, and her roommate runs back outside, and a yellow Volkswagen Beetle runs her over. I was like, how much damage could a Volkswagen Beetle do?
Well, it didn't do nothing to her.
And it backed back. It was going to back up to run over her again.
And this car comes up with a group of 3 younger,
and they come and pick her up and take her into car.
As Alicia would say, younger people.
And they take her to hospital.
Yes. And
the yellow Volkswagen drives away.
Yes.
But somehow it knows, whoever's driving that yellow Volkswagen knows what hospital she goes to.
Well, the Volkswagen Beetle, yeah. When we say younger, what are we meaning? Like 20s? I think that's what we're saying.
Yeah, probably these are people in their 20s, 30s. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
That's the ticket.
Yeah. Say.
So then Francoise comes back from Hamburg, and she and Victor visit Wendy in the hospital.
I think it's funny that she got run over by this car. Not run over. She was hit. Going
not even fully on, like she kind of bounced off of it, and then she just laid there waiting for him to back up and run over her again.
50 miles an hour. They put her in a car, and when they get her to the hospital, and there was some weird thing covering her. It looked like gauze around her midsection, but I'm like, what the hell is that? Unless it was the blanket and I was drunk. I don't know. It could be.
Well, you weren't drunk. We know you weren't drunk because you don't drink, but maybe it was a blanket.
Thanks very much there. So, but she very quickly, because the killer ends up coming, and I'm kind of skipping over a little bit.
Yes, you are. And I have notes.
It's almost the top of the hour. Hurry up and run through it. When we get to the killer coming to the hospital here, she
the
gets
white-caped lady sees the newspaper.
Okay.
And you find out that she's running a pet shop, and she's really mean to the pets. She's really mean to those animals. I don't like her.
She's a drug addict, and she needs a hit, man.
So she gets a package, and it's a package full of filled syringes delivered to her.
Because
when she gets high,
she did what she was supposed to do.
Correct.
With giving the cat doing the murdering, and
her payment was these syringes filled with what? Heroin?
I believe so. Listen, it could be morphine. It could be
maybe morphine.
They never really said exactly what it was. It was just clear liquid in vials. But it's funny.
That's when she shows the pictures of herself when she used to be in the circus, and you're like, oh, that was her.
Well, and the pet shop comes into play from the bird with the crystal plumage, where the bird call on the phone in the background when Peter was tape recording the killer.
Yes.
That gave away the location.
He said it absolutely must be a pet shop because it couldn't have just been a person who had a bird. It had to be a pet shop.
Yes. And similar to, because he mentioned the other animals in there too. But the actual calling on the tape recorder, phone call, bird with crystal plumage, very interesting how he put all that together there. Sergio Pastore.
While she's passed out after she...
Herbie was drinking and driving and ran her over. Herbie.
Not Herbie. The love bug. Not the love bug.
Well, listen, the queen, the Red Queen Kill 7 Times had a white bug.
Yes, it did.
So lots of bugs in the movies.
Yes. Yeah. So while she's passed out, someone comes in her room wearing black gloves and a hat, and takes the cat and drives off in a yellow Volkswagen Beetle.
Yes, most certainly.
So at the hospital, we see Wendy Marshall, who was the roommate of Paula. A package came, and it's a yellow shawl. And someone calls her in the hospital, and he says, "Did you get my little present?"
It's a yellow shawl, y'all.
So she gets scared, and she gets dressed and jumps out of the hospital window and just starts running in the woods.
And that's
she
when the
runs
funky
to the
music.
train station.
That's when the funky music started.
Yes, yes. And that's why I said it reminded me of like Kojak or like one of those 70s.
Yeah, 70s TV movie. Yeah.
So the yellow Volkswagen follows her, and she goes to the big train station, and we saw that in that opening scene, that lovely opening scene.
Yes.
And there's absolutely nobody in the entire train station. So she stands right on the platform, 2 steps away from the tracks, because there's a murderer obviously following her, and the best thing for her to do is to stand right on the platform, 1 step away off of the tracks. So of course somebody comes up from behind her while she's underground there waiting for a train to come, and there's nobody else around.
Black Glove Killer. Yep.
So the cat comes out.
Well, this is also where the valet, whatever, Burton, is asked by Peter to follow the white gypsy, Little White Riding Hood. And he's taking pictures in the store that she went into, similar to, I think it was Cat o' Nine Tails too, but I'm not 100% sure. It was another Giallo film.
There was one that we watched that had something to do with people just taking pictures.
But anyways.
So the cat pushes her in front of the train.
Which is funny. Yeah, the cat.
Yeah, but the poor cat ends up dead, and it's not the cat's fault, you know?
Well, the cat gets beheaded is what it gets. And I
felt so bad about that.
Yeah,
so they find another yellow shawl. They find another yellow shawl and has blood on it.
Yeah, and that's when we can kind of get to.
And so when they went back to the maestro's house after this happened, they went back to the maestro's house, and there's a yellow shawl, and his valet has a basket, and I'm like, are they trying to give it away that it's the valet? Because I'm still thinking it's the valet. Why is there a yellow shawl in their house? And then he comes up with this basket. So it turns out that the maestro had this idea to get another black cat.
He got a basket, black cat, and the shawl.
And
which it's weird that he had the same exact shawl, but
yes,
it is the same.
And there was some chemicals too.
Well, there was a chemical called what was it called? It was hard to make out, but
Carrara.
Yeah, exactly.
Carrara.
And it's a cat irritant or animal irritant that we can't smell it as humans. But
okay, because it was 2 different things. The Carrara was the stuff that they put on the cat's nails. There was another thing that they put on the yellow shawl.
Yes, the thing that they would put on the yellow shawl was a cat irritant, a scent that immediately they will, and the killer would pour it on the shawl. And then the Carrara or whatever is the poison is put on the claws that scratches and instantly kills. And
so
goes
the way
into cardiac arrest.
The way the killer keeps from getting directly involved is the killer sends this yellow shawl to the woman that he wants to kill, and then he puts the cat where that woman is. So she She puts the shawl on. The shawl has the smell on it that the cat doesn't like. She opens up the basket, and the cat comes out and jumps on her because it's angry because of whatever this chemical is that's on the shawl. But on the cat's claws is the poison that kills the woman instantly. And it leaves the system, and it looks like cardiac arrest.
Right. And the inspector did say, I saw what happened.
Yeah, he did. I saw it all.
But how did the maestro figure all of this out?
Did he just come up with the chemicals? It was just...
Well, that's my thing.
Out of all the chemicals in the world...
Like that all was just like left out of the movie. Like him going to, he had to spend a lot of time going to pharmacists or somebody to find out, hey, what kind of drug do you think can?
And it could be anything. It could be any number of things.
Yeah, so it's just something that is left to be unanswered, but nevertheless figures it out. Hello, Adam for Christ. This movie seems
the
okay.
Maestro.
I'll look it up later. Adam for Christ. This was actually, we're all over the place like we always are, but this was actually one of the better ones. And we'll get to our score at the end of this talk. But
the Maestro places an ad in the newspaper.
Yeah.
Saying that he's looking for the woman in the white cape.
Yes.
It's like Desperately Seeking Susan.
Exactly. What a great 80s film that was.
I love that movie.
Yeah. Rosanna
Arquette. Soundtrack. And Madonna.
Rosanna Arquette. Madonna, look, man, she's made such a fool of herself lately. But anyways.
And Yummy, what was his name with the blue eyes?
I don't know. I just remember Rosanna Arquette. So anyways, all of that happens.
The inspector waves the shawl in front of the cat. The cat attacks. The Maestro's theory. The killer dipped the cat's claws in curare. The white cape woman calls and tells him she saw the ad and she wants to meet him because she wants to come clean. She wants to clear her conscience, but she never has the chance to.
That happened in the prior scene, right?
No.
How does she end up getting killed then?
The Maestro puts the ad in the newspaper and then she calls and says she saw the ad. And when she's about to tell him where she lives, someone wearing black gloves pulls the phone cord out.
Right. And strangles her and hangs her in her pet shop.
But the Maestro was recording it.
Yes, he was recording it. And that's when he caught the call. And ends up, how many they go, how many pet shops? Well, no, the inspector, he like
it has to do with the bus route.
Yes, it had to do with the bus route. And so they narrowed it to a mile
area, correct.
Block area. And he goes, well, we can give it a shot. How many pet shops could there possibly be in this?
And darn if the first one he went into wasn't the one.
Well, I was going to say, how many pet shops could possibly be in that area?
One?
I mean, you know what I mean? Listen, I think it's nuts. This is one of over 30 Giallos that came out in 1972. Mike Barrett.
Barrett with the facts, man. He's got the facts.
That's why this can, Ginger, I hate to tell you, but this can go on and on and on and on. But anyways, we'll take breaks.
We do take breaks, but I'm never sorry that we come back to these Giallos because they're scrumptious.
Yeah, listen, they are.
It's like a box of chocolates. Some of them aren't that great. Some of them are really fantastic, but they're all chocolate.
Exactly. Gotta love them. But
they find Susan. They find Susan hanging.
Yes, they do. Poor Susan.
Peter gets a phone call and someone says something to him, and he.
Did you see when Susan was hanging and the police came in? The bird was going, "Oh, I'm so sad. Oh, I'm so sad." Did you see that?
No.
Oh my God! And there was a lizard on the back, like pacing back and forth on the shelf. It was sad. It was a really sad that you could tell that they all had a connection with Susan.
Didn't we just have a movie that the last movie we reviewed was a guy that I said he was like Ace Ventura because he had a whole.
Yes.
He had a menagerie of animals in cages. Like, no, they never tell you why.
Exactly. It was that Rasimov, whatever. The Strange Vice of Mrs. Ward.
That's it.
Yeah. So, exactly. Did I miss something? Hey, Dave the Rave, what's going on? Good to see you. Good to know you, buddy. Goody. So yeah, she said chocolate. Yeah. So anyways, G-I-A-L-L.
I have written it down. The name of the restaurant is Restaurant Gillilei. It's pronounced Gillilei. It's Danish. And that's the name of the town that they did the village scenes, like where the maestro lived, where the bar, the restaurant was. That wasn't Copenhagen. That was out in the countryside in Gilleleje.
And I'm so glad that you brought that up. Yeah.
I knew you would be. I knew you would be. I'm here for you, Dino.
Thank you, because
so
I don't
figure out it's not the valet. It can't be the valet. For a moment, I think it's the valet, and I think it can't be him, and then I think it is him.
Well, and then you think it's also Victor Morgan, because
yes, you do think, because he's dirty. He looks shady.
He's blackmailing and all that other stuff, and
so he makes the blind man come out, and this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in a movie. He makes the blind man come out. He picks him up at the restaurant Gilleleje.
Well, this is
takes him to a glass works.
Well, this is what I'm a little confused about, because, again, red herrings, they kind of throw you off. I don't think Victor Morgan had anything to do with any of these killings.
But his girlfriend did. And he was covering for her.
So, but when the maestro, Peter, gets that phone call from him, Victor, he's disguising his voice on the phone too. Am I wrong?
Let me think about it. Wait, what? When Victor calls the maestro?
Yeah, to tell him to meet him outside. Meet him at,
Yes, he uses that whispery voice, like.
And
even when he pulls up beside Victor, even when he pulls up beside the maestro, he says, "Get in."
Yeah. So they're trying to make you say, there's the killer. It's Peter. Peter has done it. Peter Oliver is the killer. I mean, not Peter Oliver, Victor Morgan. Victor Morgan. They're trying to make you think Victor Morgan is the killer. But okay.
And so this is he takes him to the glass works.
He isn't, but let's go with this scene. He takes him to this glass works, yes, and boy, this is an interesting place, huh? I've never seen
There's holes in the ground, like the pit and the pendulum. Basically, they did like a pit and the pendulum thing, where this big grabber comes, and he's over a hole, and this big grabber comes down, and he just ducks down.
Well, let's set the scene. Victor brings in Peter to the glass works, and he's holding his hand, and then he lets go once he's in there, because Peter's filling around with his
cane. He has his stick. Mm-hmm.
This is the glass works. That sounds like glass. What's going on? Where am I? First of all, why Peter even accepted being blind to go off without telling anybody, letting anybody know, is ridiculous. If there's anything,
where he took him to with all those holes in the ground.
If anything, kind of just this was it.
It was overly elaborate. I said it was overly elaborate, like a Bond movie.
It was. And yes, the holes in the.
And why does he climb up a ladder? Of all things that you could do, why would you climb up a ladder? You don't know where the ladder's going to.
It's really not even a ladder. It's kind of a little ladder, but it's to the escalator that puts
it's like a conveyor belt.
Yeah, conveyor belt. And
it's
he
what
does.
They put the bales of hay and stuff on to take it up into the barn, or they put the grain on it to go up into the silo. That's what it is.
Jackie S. Wesley says, I prefer 7 shawls of yellow silk to Crimes of the Black Cat. No, I like the Crimes of the Black Cat, although 7 shawls of yellow silk isn't bad. Listen, if you enjoy Giallo films, join me tomorrow night. It's not posted yet, but tomorrow night at 8 p.m., we're going to have a fun game where I'm going to give you guys keywords, and we're going to make a Giallo title out of it. So it's going to be fun.
And Dino is the sole judge
on which one is the best.
Yes.
But I wasn't as prepared on trivia night, although I didn't need to be, because everybody was fantastic in the chat. Rich Cat was coming up with some good ones. Ginger had a good one.
I had a good one. CM had a couple of good ones. Harry had some good ones.
Yes.
RTN was just being goofy like always.
Well, RTN's RTN. And listen, RTN, much love to you, man. Prayers. I know you're having a bad night tonight. Hopefully the horror shows tonight, overnight, will kind of make you feel a little bit better. And even if you don't chat tonight, that's okay. Just listen and feel better. And everybody definitely send him some love and prayer and some light, some white light. Send it to him, please.
Some turtle love. Send him some turtle love.
Yeah. So while he's in this glassworks, man, it's kind of a plot hole that I'm like, this is a kind of a stupid part, but it doesn't take away from the film. It's still kind of an interesting scene, and they're trying to throw you off thinking Victor's the killer, and
you know what? Just like I said before, that this movie is kind of like Blowout because the guy is like a sound guy. Yeah. He recorded the conversation when that person called him. He recorded it. So the police inspector went to his house, and his butler said, "Oh, play his recorder. Sometimes he records his phone conversations." And he did. He said, "Beat me at the glassworks." And so that's how the police end up showing up at the glassworks.
Yeah. And Peter, RTN proposed 1,000 Giallo movie title suggestions. I would say anybody that's going to join me tomorrow night, just if you want, jot down or think of some really cool titles without me even giving any words, because I will ask at a certain point tomorrow to just come up with a title.
And I still think, you didn't acknowledge that I said this last night, but I still think it would be fun for each one to have a bunch of words that you use, make up a Giallo movie title with this word, and then at the end put all the words together and tell them you have to make a title with all these words in it.
Oh God.
I think that would be fun.
No, we could do that. Listen, there'll be a couple of instances where I use maybe 2 or 3 words.
Okay.
And you can discombine. But anyways, so yeah, getting to the end of this. So
wrap it up. I even wrote that.
Wrap it up. Well, listen, because at this point you're thinking that, he's the killer, but what ends up happening,
he falls into a vat of something.
Peter?
Yes. Victor falls into a vat of something.
Victor does, and he dies. That's when the police.
What is it that he fell into? It looked like milk. What was it?
That's when the police are chasing him, and Peter gets away and heads back home. But in the meantime, Victor Morgan, who we thought, hey, this is the killer, falls into some kind of vat of kind of acid or something.
It must be acid, because he doesn't come back up at all.
It's a glass factory, so it's got to be something that has to do with the glass.
Yes, that's brilliant, Dino, that you put that together.
Dino is
Margot.
Wait, hold on. Ginger, am I taking things the wrong way? The Jackass Whiskey. Dino is a judge. I don't know. He seems to have 7 sequestered singularities. That's the second comment you've done tonight that I don't know if I'm taking it the wrong way. If you're being like a smart aleck to me or not. Ginger, am I taking it the wrong way?
I'm confused. I don't have any idea what any of that means. I don't know.
Well, there's a way of putting things together like he just did there, of giving a jab, but making it seem like it's not really a jab. And that's the second time. So listen, man, eventually, that's all I'll say, but go ahead. So it's a vat of Windex, says Thomas Gordon. Hey, Thomas Gordon, what's going on?
It was white, though. It was white, like milk.
Yeah. Who knows what it is? But anyways.
So Margot and the valet, the police come and they rescue the maestro. Yes. And he tells his valet and Margot to go on back home, and he'll stay there until everything gets wrapped up, and then he'll come back home. So the valet drives Margot back to their place. Right. And he tells her, "You need a shower. Go take a shower," which I thought was extremely creepy. Like, excuse me?
And again, that kind of throws you off. Again,
yes, absolutely.
Thinking it's the valet.
Absolutely. Because I said at first I thought it was him, and then I was like, no, it's not him. And then I thought it was him again. So while she's showering with the shower curtain completely wide open, I've never seen that before, you see black gloves and a straight razor. Some black gloves.
And this is the scene in the third act, one of the most brutal scenes I've seen in
I'm going to leave this one to you. Go ahead.
This is somewhat oh my God, a brutal X-rated psycho scene.
From beginning to end.
Yes, where open the curtains, and I'm going to be delicate. It's going to be 10 times worse than I'm saying, but the straight razor, listen, it's simplicity. It's the straight razor swiping through the body parts, the upper part of the woman, the breasts, right through.
It looked so real.
It looked so real that it was disturbing. And when I told you earlier and you said, no, that's not right and you shouldn't
turned
do that,
away.
I had to. That's just too brutal.
It was
man.
bad.
You can't.
And he was relentless.
Yeah.
He just kept slicing and dicing. I mean, it was.
Oh, it was, yeah, all over.
And it looked so real. Every cut was like real.
Yes, yes. And the body just sits there in the water. And next thing you know, and at this point,
and he drags her out of the shower. He drags her away.
Yes. And at this point, hey, Ian Sharp, what's going on? And again, at this point, you're thinking it's the valet now. It's the valet. Because you really are surprised until the very end. If you tell me you got this halfway through the movie, then you're shoveling me bull.
So the maestro comes home and he's blind. He comes home. The police dropped him off, and he walks in, and he walks forward, and he's got his cane, his stick, and he hits something, and it's Margot's body, and he feels her. He feels her, and he sees this is Margot. I know this is Margot, and there's blood all over her, and she's clearly dead. So then this is when you see, and I don't want to say at the beginning of the movie, but this is when you see, for some reason, lights flashing, colored lights are flashing, and I'm like, that wasn't. And I think,
and it was really cool.
Wasn't actual lights flashing. I think it was literally just to put you in that disturbed, suspenseful frame of mind where there's these green and red and blue lights.
It's flashing. A thing that, listen, it's a thing they incorporated too that Giallo films do, a la Dario Argento and Bava, with the green and reds is what I was getting in that scene. And yes, it's to provoke feelings, emotions, and disturb you just a bit with what's going on. So it does exactly what
like,
it's
hey, it's about to get real.
Yeah. So real quick, before we move on to the very ending and the killer here, Raphael says same verse, same as the first. Love that song. Good to see you, Raphael. And Jackass. He does say, yes, I am good at that. It's a joke. It doesn't mean anything. Or does it? It's a play on Italian movie titles. So listen, I get what you're saying. If I wrote Dino is a great man, well, that's uninteresting. A true jackass.
Oh boy, we have a superstar right here, Dino. This is a superstar.
But listen, I'll leave it at that. But
did you ever hear about the movie Giant and how Rock Hudson was supposed to be the star and James Dean just completely overshadowed him and he hated it?
Oh geez. But anyways. I am still back at Bush. Stay Plouffe. Okay,
I never said the word. I texted it to Dino, and I said,
I did.
I don't know if you want to say this word or not, but I'm surprised
because I don't think that's. I guess it's graphic to most.
Not people. Every movie has that, and it was very graphic.
Well, so for the 70s, Europe. Okay, so
then you see the shadowy figure with the black gloves.
Yes, walking up to Peter.
Yes, but the maestro gets something and he takes this cord and he stretches it across the room. He's messing with the guy. Yeah. He stretches it across the room and he hides. And the guy comes and he trips over it. And I was like, okay, well, that's it. No, there's more.
Yeah, it's not is it a guy?
So the shadowy figure trips and it turns out to be Francoise,
the woman at the beginning
of the fashion house.
The owner of the fashion house.
But her body's
ends up being a killer. And she kind of opens her jacket and you can see she was in a car accident where most of her body was burned. Why she's taking out everybody that she's taken out, I guess is because of the blackmail part. And anyways, that doesn't matter. It's the fact that she's the killer
this whole time,
and she's
wearing men's shoes. You know, I noticed stuff like that, and every time they showed the killer, he was wearing men's shoes.
Listen, again, some of these movies, they will almost trick you at the end with who the killer is. Like
this one definitely did.
Yes, I did not no.
But don't you love the way she kind of jumped out the window at the end? That was a very interesting kind of jump thing that she did at the end of the movie.
Well, yeah, let me mention that real quick. Dave Plouffe says green-red complementary colors. So with them next to one another, it affects our optic nerve because one color recedes and one advances. Interesting point. No, that
went right over my head.
Tricking the mind into thinking, going from one extreme to the other kind of really quickly.
And it's disturbing.
Interesting. And then listen.
Thank you, Dave Plouffe.
Then the inspector and them, they all run into the apartment where Peter's on the ground. And the very last scene you get is out of a Dario Argento movie. Listen, for some reason,
Suspiria. And what was the one with Jennifer Connelly? The one with Jennifer Connelly was a little girl.
Four Flies in Gray Velvet. Oh no, Phenomena. Yeah. So she jumps out the window, breaking the glass, and the movie just stops with her halfway in, like she's boom, broke the glass.
She literally is still screaming. Yeah. But she crashes through the glass and she's just standing there screaming. She doesn't move, but she's still like, ah! I'm like,
yeah.
Did she go? Is she jumping out of the window or?
Yeah, but nevertheless, it ends there, and whether she's dead or not, who the heck knows?
We don't know.
I mean,
who the heck knows?
Listen, that's the first floor. I mean, he's got a house there, right? I mean, well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Listen, freeze frame. Yes, Mike Barrett. Freeze frame. Dean just took over that movie. James Dean just took over that movie. This is why our superheroes are always in triadic. Oh, Dave getting deep now. Always in triadic color schemes, since it is possible, or since it is opposite complementary colors. Superman red, yellow, blue. Rosie the Riveter, same thing. Yes, and love Rosie the Riveter. Throwback to World War II. Anyways. Very good. That is the end of class today. Yes. It was a very interesting discussion.
I can't wait to see you two together because you're both in the industry. You're both,
Well, he's a teacher is what he is. He's a philosopher. He's a professor is what he is. But anyways, he's a very smart guy and I can't pronounce words and he can. So, we'll compliment each other that way.
But that's okay though.
Exactly. No, I love Dave Plouffe to death.
When I was a kid, my cousin was diagnosed, with dyslexia, and at the time it was like, "What is that? Like, does that mean she's retarded?" That was the word that they would use, and it was like, "No, it just means she doesn't see things the same way."
Well, you can't even use that word.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm just saying.
Right. Yeah. No.
Hey, Barbara Streisand had a commercial that she used to do a special service announcement. Oh.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to trigger him. Listen.
He's probably sitting there listening right now like that guy.
He's going, hi, boy, donuts.
And Donald Duck apple juice.
Hi, boy, donuts. No, love you, Dennis. Anyways, yeah, so this movie, kind of a slow, weird start, then bing, bang, boom, wada, wada, bing, bang. Oh my God, what the hell's happening?
And bada bing.
Confuse me. What the hell's going on here? And then, but listen, I enjoyed this film.
Connie said, listen.
I enjoyed this one.
I did too.
More than most.
Me too.
Honestly.
Well, Dino, if nothing else, you must be honest.
Yes, but with that said, it certainly doesn't get a middle of the road 5. This is going to get a 6 out of 10 for me.
6?
Yeah.
I give it a 6.5. I really liked it.
Okay. Well, there you go. Yeah. Very interesting.
At about an hour and 39 minutes, rounding it up, it was verging on too long.
Yeah. I'd say take that 9 minutes.
There was some dragging that they could have taken out of there.
I'd say take off the 9 minutes is what I say, lady.
Is that Harry Carey? Because you sound like Harry Carey.
That's not Harry Carey. That's Harry Carey.
I love that guy. Oh my God.
Giallo there.
Did you ever actually see him when you were little, or are you too young?
Hey, what?
Did you ever actually see him when you were little, or are you too young?
No, I remember seeing Will Ferrell do Harry Carey. I'm Harry Carey.
He did it so well too. A little exaggerated, but really good.
Will Ferrell is great. I agree.
What was he said about hot dogs? He said something about hot
dogs. The Welsh. Seth the Welsh is yes. Mike Barrett, I give it a 7. Good. No, okay. Connie Clary gave it a 6.1.
Peter Winnecki gives it an 8. I wouldn't give it an 8. I think that's very generous, but you know.
All Giallos to me start at 8. I think that's completely wrong. It shouldn't. I mean, I'll give you it. If even the worst Giallo film ever is an 8, man, I don't.
We've seen some pretty.
Yeah, what the hell would you give?
Dino, what did you give the one with the lady that was sleeping with her boyfriend's head?
He gave it an 8 at the lowest.
No, I know we didn't give that an 8.
Which movies are a 10? I mean,
Blowout.
Geez. Because if the least best Giallo film is an 8,
an 8, come on.
Then the best Dario Argento film, let's say, or how about Deep Red for me? That's kind of my favorite benchmark at the moment. Mm-hmm. Or even Suspiria. 10s. I mean, in order to give a 10, it's got to be perfect in every way. I give it 5 black cats out of 10 meow mixes. A.O.B. Macabre, Sugar Nut. Yes, there you go. Santa's Pup, 0. Oh, come on. Peter Griffin does the best bird version. He does. Listen here. 10 minutes of fighting with that chicken is fantastic.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing. I always say that about you and your bits. Your bits are like on Family Guy. They go on just a little bit too long.
I know.
Same with Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell, I like him. He's funny, but sometimes his bits go on a little too long.
That's the way it goes. That's the best stuff.
Do you know I found the guy that I'm sure that they based the news guy that Will Ferrell played. I found the guy in
Harry Carey. Harry Carey.
No. The one with the movie. The movies that
he does. Yeah. I forget the name of the movie. I know.
But I found the guy that I'm sure they based him off of. Oh my God. He looks so. I was like, that's got to be the guy. That's got to be him.
Jackass Whiskey. I enjoyed them all because of the J&B. Yeah.
We are not going to let you forget about that J&B, Dino. We are not.
Well,
make no mistake. Ron Burgundy.
Yeah, there you go.
I found the actual guy that I'm absolutely certain that they based Ron Burgundy on.
Oh, yeah, he was based on a character. Yeah. I don't know the name, but listen, that was way before my time, as Alicia would say. I was way too young.
You're old, though. That leaves just me then. I guess I'm the old one. That's fine. I'm usually
Connie
the oldest.
The Anchorman. Yeah.
Yes, him.
Yeah. So there you go, man. A 6 from me, a 6.5 from her. What do I got coming up?
Her?
I mean, Ginger. Ginger. The thing is, did I miss something? Why'd that do that again? I don't know what's going on there. Tomorrow night,
we're gonna have some fun.
I rate them at least an 8 because there's always listen, I keep reading them because you're entertaining me too. I rate them all at least an 8 because there is always something that entertains
Hey, he's going to get his $5 worth.
Well, again, a movie's a piece of crap, and then halfway in the movie, there's this dance going on. It's very entertaining. Get you going. You propel that movie to an 8, or does the whole movie gotta entertain you? Anyways, we're moving on. You see, Dino will cut Ginger off.
Please, as much as I cut him off.
But one of these days, Ginger will strike back. Oh yes,
please.
Ginger will strike back. Insert evil laugh.
Oh, if she only had access. Anyways, to the controls. Right? Hey, you put a little bit of whole milk in that plant back there, and it'll spry it up.
My plant's doing fine, thank you. It's doing fine.
Oh, do you give it an 8 out of? Do you give it an 8 out of 10?
I give that plant a 9 out of 10.
Really?
There's you can't see it from here, but there's a huge African violet in there. That's like 4 different plants I put into one pot. It's the longest I've ever been able to keep an African violet alive. I'm very happy with that plant.
You know what I call that?
No.
Landscape. I call that a landscape. That's very nice. It's a kind of a hill and a landscaped hill coming off your TV. Very nice. Very
Did you
good.
like the atmosphere of this movie? I liked it very much. The pictures of the European countryside and also the pictures of the cities, the whole 70s kind of vibe where everything was just gray and gritty and brown. And
it was okay.
I liked the atmosphere. I liked the camera work. I liked that thing that I asked you, is it called repeat frame? And you said, no, it's called something else.
Yeah. No, listen, there's a lot of things to love.
What did you say it was called?
I said I didn't know. It's just call it repeat frame. I mean, that's...
No, you called it something else that sounded right.
Okay, well, I don't know. Did I?
See, that's how much you value our conversations. Like 5 minutes later, it's gone.
Connie's got no comment. Okay, listen. Tonight we got
Connie, you comment all you want to.
Exactly. Tonight we got horror all night long. Yeah, I'm not going to say.
Dino, is there any Johnny Dollar to be found tonight?
Oh, I'm not worried about Johnny Dollar. Listen, listen. I'm just going to do this. I'm going to say this. If you're looking for CBS Radio Mystery Theater,
Dino's got it all, man.
They're all on the channel.
Somebody get that link to Dino's channel and put it up there, please.
There's a playlist of, even if you do a search on YouTube, CBS, there'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 60 12-hour streams in order. That's why it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 60.
See how that works?
Straight, 2 months straight of CBS Radio Mystery Theater. Again, I know there's a big boom of OTR on
a bigger boom
on OTR on YouTube right now,
and they're all garbage. They're garbage.
Listen, and people are, I think, venturing to. I hope that my channel's not getting old, and you guys are fed up and want to go elsewhere.
You're like fine wine, Dino.
I keep up with the listen in my analytics. It tells me exactly where the #1 channel everybody goes to is and stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, they're playing the same exact things I've got on my channel. I've got 3 years of everything. But that's all I'll say. I just wanted to say that.
Just the other night, let's just say real quick, the other night, that person in the chat late night after you had gone nighty night asked about, he was like, Dino, you should do a whole stream of just that Frank Sinatra thing, Fortune. What's his name? Rocky Fortune?
Well, he said Rocky Jordan, and I said, yes, Rocky Fortune.
And Dino has literally an entire stream of it.
The entire playlist is on the channel. And listen, you don't even have to look through my channel for it.
You can just look in YouTube, search it.
Just search on YouTube. And
Dino's comes up.
The one that comes up and closest to 12 hours is right there. So there is nothing out there that, like Zardoz, Chris says all the time, the chat is where it's at. I try to keep it, fresh and still keep going, like these mixed bags and stuff. Like, it's just like any other radio station or channel that would play, a compilation of different stuff,
and archive it and put it in playlists so that they're easy to find. Yeah,
OTR means old time radio. And Rich Cat, there's the playlist right there. Thank you very much, Kathy. Yeah, it's listen, everything is there. That has turned. Dino is like fine wine that has turned to vinegar. Okay, you know what, Jackass? I think That's your last straw, man. You've done jabs at me all night.
Come on, man.
In a slick way.
What a load of malarkey.
But yeah, not liking it. That's your last. I'm even letting that slip in. I'm in a good mood. But yeah, whatever. Well, you know what? Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just go ahead and block. Dino is our son. Where's the planets, moon, the comets, and stars? Santa's pup. Love you, man. Love you. People hate to hear it. I just listen. You got to keep up with stuff, and just I get perplexed sometimes with how hard I tried. Listen, I had 2 months of COVID, and I made sure streams were up every single night for everybody.
You said this.
Oh, I did. But anyways, ABC you later. Dave's sliding out. See you later, Dave. Much love to you, man. I know I'm overstaying my welcome.
Well, let me tell you about my day today. I ordered to have some groceries delivered, and one of the things that I ordered was a delicious Turkey Hill ice cream.
Oh.
It had mint ice cream with bits of Oreo cookie in it, and when it got here, the carton was smashed.
No.
And the ice cream inside had melted all over everything else in the bag.
How dare they?
It was delightful.
Dino, you do amazing work, and we all appreciate it. Thank you, Peter. Thank you. I just wanted to make that. I just wanted to make that point that everything is here, and I do the 12-hour live streams to keep the family and everybody together. But venture off. You're banned from the chat. Seems a lot of that going around. You're banned from the chat. Seems a lot of that going around. Dave the Rave? What's that mean, Dave? Okay. A lot of that going around. Listen, if you got to keep people out of chat for being a-holes and stuff like that, then you gotta. That's the only way you can do it. If you let everybody have free reign, I mean,
it'll be anarchy.
Think about it. Turkey Hill sherbet is my favorite. There you go.
Edie's used to have spumoni ice cream. That was my favorite. And guess what? They don't make it anymore.
Oh no.
So Dino, tell me about our week ahead. This is the week leading up to Christmas.
Thank you, Sugar Nut.
So we're not quite going to be at Christmas yet, but what do we have going on?
Well, let's see. Me and you. Well, tomorrow night we got the whole fun Giallo thing coming up with Giallo titles. Tuesday, nothing going on.
You have something new? Oh, you don't have the new thing going on?
Yes, I should be premiering Classic Horror Corner
with
it's going to be something new. So keep a lookout for it.
He won't say who it's with.
It's Classic Horror Corner with Celise, and that's all I'll say. So that'll be coming up, and that'll be every single Tuesday. You would get a review premiering on Tuesdays of classic horror movies. So Classic Horror Corner with Celise, and you will find out the rest when it premieres on Tuesday. So that'll be fun. And if
you like her more than me, I'm going to disappear.
What? No, Ginger, we always do Wednesday and Sunday.
I know, but if you have really good chemistry with this person and it brings the viewers,
it's not. I'm not involved. No.
I'll be happy for you. You go with that.
I'm not involved with this. This is a review from another YouTuber doing a classic horror movie review on my channel in the Tuesday time slot at 8 p.m.
This is like the third time I've gotten this out of you. I just messed with you to get this reaction right here.
You're so ridiculous.
I know, I'm ridiculous.
Yeah. Thank you, J.O.B. I try.
Good.
Even though I love the hiss and the sound of a lot of the old shows.
People complain about it.
Well, some of them I keep them that way. I like them that way. The sound of the record. I mean, listen, it's kind of an ASMR thing, kind of a pleasing thing to my ear. But I do try to clean up some of the ones that are
Is
really
Black
bad.
Roses here? Black Roses knows how I feel about ASMR.
Okay.
So now we've gotten to, where are we now? We're at Tuesday. So Tuesday is going to be this new thing.
And then Wednesday
we're doing what? Pearl?
Tuesday we're doing the night Evelyn came out of the grave.
Tuesday or Wednesday, Dino? Get it together.
Wednesday.
We're doing the night Evelyn came out of the grave, which is sort of a sequel to the movie that we just reviewed, which was what? The Red Queen kills 7 times?
Yes, ma'am. You got that right.
And the Red Queen was, well, we were led to believe it was Evelyn.
Yes.
And so this is called The Night That Evelyn Came Out of the Grave, but it's actually not really based on this?
No.
Okay.
And then come Sunday, Christmas Day, we're going to do a newer movie, Pearl, from 2022.
You are skipping. We're not going to go there yet.
Thursday, not sure what's happening. Friday is movie night. So there's that. And
right. Okay. And then Christmas Day.
Listen, we got plenty going on. I'm done for the evening, folks.
All right.
I got to get to the.
I'm that person at every staff meeting that I wait till the end of the meeting to ask the boss a bunch of questions so nobody can leave because I had questions I should have. Anyway.
Are you guys ever going to stop talking? Yes, I'm done. We love Ginger. Remember? See, I'm still reading stuff. Anyways, okay, so I'm going to let